dive into a whirlwind adventure where two best friends, Kate and Meg, find themselves tangled in a series of unexpected events that could only happen to them. From classroom manga readings that lead to job jeopardy, to cosmetic deals gone awry thanks to North Korean ukts, their lives are anything but ordinary. When a spontaneous trip to Florida turns into an encounter with a charming stranger on a plane, their friendship is put to the ultimate test. Will a handsome man and a series of comedic mishaps tear these two apart? Or will it bring them closer than ever? Join us as we unravel a tale of friendship, love, and the hilarious lengths some will go to for both. Get ready for laughs, gasps, and perhaps a lesson or two on the true meaning of friendship. Don't miss out on this unforgettable journey. It's a story so engaging, you'll be hooked from start to finish. Oh my gosh. So there's this teacher, Kate, right? She's trying her best to make English class interesting for her students, but let's be real, they're totally zoning out. Then, out of nowhere, she spots this dude at the back of the class, totally engrossed in something. Turns out, he's reading a comic book, and not just any comic, but manga. So she's like, why don't you share with the class? And suddenly, the whole mood shifts. Everyone's hooked on every word. Switch scenes, and there's Meg, this girl hustling to sell her cosmetics, trying to land a big deal with some fancy company. She's doing her pitch, all glamorous, until oops, her lips start burning from the uke. And guess what? It's because the cosmetics are, wait for it, from North Korea. Talk about a deal breaker. Back to Kate. Things go south when the school principal, Mr. Mo, catches wind of the manga reading session. He's not amused. Instead of a gold star, he suggests Kate should just quit. Yikes, talk about harsh. And Meg, after her cosmetics fiasco, finds out she's not getting the deal, plus her car got stolen. Like, could things get any worse? But hey, they're both fighters. They end up roommates, and amidst their struggles, they have this heart-to-heart. Kate asks the beans about being nudged to resign, and Meg reveals her own series of unfortunate events. And in the midst of their wine and comfort TV binge, they start dreaming about what if they had a bit of adventure in their lives. Like, imagine the possibilities. So, picture this. Kate and Meg are just chilling, having a wine night and binging their favorite TV show. They're totally into these guys on the show, wishing they could have some of that action in their own lives. Kate's all like, I could totally rock a commercial like this, and Meg's giving her this look, saying they don't have the guts to take on the real competition. But deep down, they're both craving some adventure, you know? And Meg, she's got her eye on snagging a firefighter. Fast forward a bit, and it's bedtime. But Meg, she's glued to the TV, can't tear herself away. Then, out of nowhere, in the dead of night, she's shaking Kate awake, going on about how they're just living life on the sidelines. Kate's half asleep, trying to process all this, when Meg drops the bomb. She's used all their miles for a spontaneous trip to Florida. Like they're leaving in 3 hours. In a total panic, they pack up and rush to the airport, only to find this monster of a line waiting for them. But Meg, she's got a plan. She spots this dude who looks like he could be their ticket to skipping the queue. So, she goes full charm mode, even pretending to look for a non-existent first class in her suitcase, which, by the way, leads to her flashing her to the whole airport. Classic Meg move, right? Just when you think it can't get any crazier, she downs all the liquids she can't take on the plane. I mean, who does that? Anyway, their plan somehow works. The guy's totally smitten, and just like that, they're breezing through check-in. These two are off on an adventure, and something tells me it's gonna be one heck of a ride. Alright, so they've made it onto the plane, right? And Meg's doing her best to keep Kate chill because flying is totally not her thing. She even pops a sleeping pill to ease the nerves. Now, just when you think they're set for a snooze fest, in walks Ryan. Yep, this guy grabs a seat right between them, and let me tell you, he's easy on the eyes. We're talking abs that have seen more gym time than I've seen daylight. Meg's not about to let this opportunity slip. She's practically peeling off layers to showcase her assets, all while trying to play it cool with a breath that could knock out a small animal, thanks to her soda. The flight attendant's nose is working overtime here. Meanwhile, Kate's giving it her all too, not wanting to be outdone by Meg. It's like they're in their own silent battle for Ryan's attention. But just as the show gets good, the sleeping kick in, and Kate's out. But wait, the drama doesn't stop there. Suddenly, there's talk of a hurricane, and the plane's gotta land in this random city. As they're getting off, the flight attendant's still haunted by Meg's breath, and Kate, half asleep, ends up using Ryan as a pillow thanks to a little turbulence inside the plane. Fast forward, and they're at the hotel where they run into Ryan again. Turns out his luggage is MIA. Classic airport move. The hotel's packed, but they manage to snag a room, and Ryan, who's also staying there, drops that he's missing a bachelor party but is up for hanging out. The girls? They're all in. So, they're back in the room, right? And it's all systems go for the night ahead with Ryan. There's this vibe, like they're both kinda hoping tonight's their night. But drama alert, Meg's luggage is in the Bermuda Triangle of airport lost and found, which means she's dressless. She's practically begging Kate for hers, but Kate's like, no can do, buddy. So, Meg's on a mission, scrambling to sort out a dress situation with the help of the hotel concierge who's suddenly on Project Runway duty. Fast forward to the evening, Kate's the first to roll up to the bar, and Ryan's there laying on the charm. But then, enter Meg, looking like she just stepped off a Fashion Week runway, and Ryan's attention? Swivel. It's like Kate who? But then, plot twist. While Ryan's off doing whatever, these two dudes show up, and guess what? They're jewelers. Meg, in a move straight out of a spy movie, decides she's an undercover agent. She's waving around like she's about to zap someone, and one guy's bag goes flying, right to the flight attendant's desk. Meanwhile, Ryan's nabbed a table, and who's there but Roger and Nancy from the plane? As the hurricane's making headlines, Ryan's stressing about missing his buddy's wedding rehearsal. But hey, life's a sitcom, and now he's chatting jobs with Meg and Kate. Meg's suddenly a cosmetics mogul, and Kate's shaping young minds at a special school. Ryan's all humble, dropping that he's just a fireman, which, if you've been paying attention, is exactly the kind of guy they've been dreaming about. So, they hit the dance floor, turning heads and probably setting off smoke alarms with their moves. But Meg's in it to win it, pulling out all the stops until, whoops, there goes her earring. But have no fear, Craig's here, diving across the room like he's in an action movie. And just when you think the night can't get any more rom-com, Ryan's all, let's hit the town. Kate's playing it cool, going to grab some ice with her boyfriend. But really, it's just another scene in this wild adventure they're living. Meg's totally onto Kate's game and decides she's not sitting this one out. The tension is like a reality TV show, right? But then, Ryan, probably sensing a storm brewing, vanishes into thin air. Back at their room, amidst the bickering, they both confess they're crushing hard on Ryan. But Kate's determined not to let Meg have all the fun. The next day, they somehow convince Ryan to choose their next adventure. And guess what? The dude picks a hot air balloon ride. Meg, playing the friend hard, outs Kate's fear of heights. But Kate's not backing down, insisting she's all in for the ride. Then, plot twist. The balloon pilot has one eye. Kate's freaking out internally but puts on a brave face, asking the guy if he's okay to fly. He's all confidence, but as they lift off, Kate's fear of heights hits her like a freight train. Ryan's trying to play it cool, reassuring Kate as she starts to panic. Meanwhile, Meg's already over it, deciding champagne is the answer to their woes. But in a twist straight out of a slapstick comedy, she ends up corking the pilot in his good eye. Pandemonium ensues as the balloon's future hangs in the balance. Once they're safely back on solid ground and back at the hotel, Anu delivers the good news. Meg's luggage is found. But the drama doesn't pause. Ryan's off to the pool, and the girls are quick to follow. Kate, feeling the heat of competition, decides it's time for a swimsuit upgrade. Meg's first to the pool, trying to snag Ryan's attention, but then Kate shows up, turning heads and making Meg green with envy. Not one to be outdone, Meg challenges Kate to a pool jumping contest, throwing it back to their childhood competitions. The guys are all eyes as the girls go head to head, but Meg's big moment ends with a splash, and not the kind she hoped for. Defeated, they head back to their room, leaving the poolside audience wanting more. At the bar later, the mood shifts when Nancy breaks the news. The hurricane's dying down, but weirdly, that's kind of a for the girls. Then, she drops another bombshell. Her and Roger? Not a couple. Mind blown, right? She's all like, live it up ladies, and bounces, leaving the girls to plot their next move. That's when they spot Ryan sneaking off and decide it's now or never. They catch up and find out Ryan and Craig are doubling down on their road trip plans. And without skipping a beat, the girls are in. It's like an impromptu road trip squad. The journey's a mix of games, dance-offs, and those deep chats that only happen when you're miles from home. Meg's playing it cool, trying to get Ryan's attention by moisturizing his hands. Yeah, it's as awkward as it sounds. Kate, not to be outworn, distis to play by bringing up Meg's helmet-wearing childhood, hoping to throw Ryan off. But all it does is tick Meg off. Next stop, the world's sketchiest gas station bathroom, where Kate's about to get a taste of Meg's revenge. Locked in, Kate's situation goes from to worse, ending with a less than glamorous escape through the window and straight into a dumpster dive. Meanwhile, Ryan's off in his own world, and Craig's making moves on Meg, who's not having any of it. She's got eyes only for Ryan. After Kate's dramatic rescue from the trash, they hit the road again, but now she's smelling like last week's garbage and nursing a sore neck. Ryan, ever the gentleman, offers up a massage, which has Kate over the moon, until Meg, in a desperate bid for attention, tries to drug her own friend with sleeping. But Kate's not biting, and Craig, oblivious to the brewing drama, ends up with the spiked bottle. As fate would have it, Craig, now the designated driver, dozes off, and their trip takes a sudden detour into a road sign. Just like that, everyone's wide awake and probably rethinking their life choices up to this point. So, they hit this snag where they can't leave town till morning, right? Ends up, they all grab separate rooms for the night. Meg takes off to the bar, probably looking to unwind, and who shows up but Craig? He cracks a joke, and for once, Meg's not in fight-or-flight mode. She actually cracks a smile. Meanwhile, Kate's evening is taking a turn for the rom-com. Ryan's there, laying it on thick, saying he's been waiting for this moment with her. They get all cozy, and it's like they're in their own little world, with Ryan doing the whole, "Do you like this bit?" And Kate? She's all in. Craig's trying his best to charm Meg over at the bar, but she's got a one-track mind, and it's not on him. As he's about to bounce, he drops this line about diamonds and not noticing the other stones, kind of deep for a bar convo, and it leaves Meg thinking. Come morning, and it's like the drama from the night before was just the opening act. Meg's having this moment of clarity, saying the whole rivalry thing is, and that Kate means more to her than any guy. But then, plot twist, Craig comes in, all detective-like, saying Ryan's a car thief. Cue the food fight between the girls, because nothing says, "we need to talk," like hurling breakfast across the room. The hotel staff's probably thinking, not this again. So there they are, sprawled on the floor, covered in what was supposed to be their breakfast, probably reevaluating a lot of life choices at that moment. Alright, so the plot thickens when the cops show up and start piecing things together. They're like, "So, what's this Ryan guy's last name?" And both Kate and Meg are stumped. But Craig, who's somehow turned into the unsung hero of this saga, pulls out his phone and reveals Ryan's big secret through a Facebook friend request. The wedding they're crashing? It's actually Ryan's own wedding. Talk about a plot twist. With their minds blown, the girls suddenly feel like they've got to warn the bride about what a catch she's got. Note the sarcasm. Somehow, they talk the police into letting them go, and they're off in a cab, determined to stop the wedding. Except, in a classic mix-up, they barge into the wrong wedding first. You can't make this stuff up. Finally tracking down the right venue, they find Ryan, who's all charm and deflection, trying to convince them not to ruin his big day. He spins this story about how the girls were the ones coming onto him, playing it cool, as if he's the here. Just as the girls are about to unleash their wrath, in walks Jeevy, Ryan's fiancée, and let me tell you, she is not having any of it. She puts Ryan in his place faster than you can say, "I do," and it's clear who wears the pants in this relationship. Realizing that Ryan's about to get all the karma he deserves, the girls decide to bow out gracefully, throwing a compliment Jeevy's way about her dress before making their exit. It's like they've found peace in knowing Ryan's about to be someone else's problem. In the aftermath, Meg's got this moment of clarity. She tracks down Craig, ready to make amends and maybe explore what's been brewing between them. Craig, ever the gentleman, is all in, proving that sometimes it's the unexpected connections that turn out to be the most real. Back at the airport, after all that madness, Meg drops this idea about them living apart. She's all about finding her own way, getting a bit more independence under her belt. Kate, she's totally on board, giving her friend the thumbs up. It's like, despite everything, they're finding their own paths, but the bond's still solid. Flash forward, and Kate's back in her element at school, right where she kicked off our little adventure. That manga reading student, He's back too, showing off his own artwork this time, which is pretty cool. Then, out of nowhere, Principal Mo swings by. Instead of the boot, he's offering Kate a new gig. Talk about a plot twist. Kate, she's ready to walk if they don't back her new club idea, but she's also stoked to be sticking around. Meanwhile, Meg's navigating the whole long-distance thing with Craig, which, considering their start, is kind of adorable. She's even pushing for a meetup, which has got to be interesting, given their history. In this roller coaster of a movie, we've seen it all. From the depths of job insecurity and cosmetic disasters, all the way to high-flying escapades and romantic entanglements. Kate and Meg's journey is a testament to the strength of friendship, even when tested by the most bizarre and unexpected circumstances. Whether it's dealing with a potential job loss over a manga reading, navigating the murky waters of the cosmetic industry, or finding themselves in a love triangle high above the clouds, these two prove that together they can face just about anything. But more than just laughs and chaos, this story reminds us of the importance of standing by those who mean the most to us, no matter how crazy the situation. As this whirlwind tale wraps up, we're left to ponder the true meaning of friendship, adventure, and how a simple trip can turn into an unforgettable adventure. So, what do you think? Could you navigate the ups and downs of such a wild journey with your best friend by your side? And what about Ryan? Was he just a charming troublemaker, or something more? If you enjoyed this recap and want more intriguing stories, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more content. Now, over to you. What would you have done in Kate and Meg's shoes? Drop your thoughts, theories, and wildest fantasies in the comments below. Let's get a conversation going about the crazy things we do for friendship and love. See you in the next video.